South Florida heat wave is unbearable.
Last thing they need is another agency from Miami-Dade County overseeing their work and their safety.
Especially for those who work outdoors. Remembering 9/11.
See that building coming down, I was very, very, very emotional.
With prayers coming from a Broward County community. And ahead of the holidays, support from South Florida is heading to Haiti, Guatemala, and other developing countries.
Those children, the poorest of the poor around the world, that they're loved.
These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Leon Abutori-Bush.
And I'm Julian Davis. Today's Tuesday, September 12th, 2023.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Cause for concern when it comes to the working in the South Florida heat. Yesterday, the Miami-Dade Commission's Health Committee held a public hearing and a vote on the heat standard for outdoor workers.
Caplin News reporter Samantha Gutierrez attended the hearing downtown.
I've only been standing outside for 10 minutes and I'm already feeling this heat. This is concerning, considering that next year and the years to follow are likely to be even hotter.
And while most of us are accustomed to escaping Miami's climate under AC, a lot of construction and agriculture workers don't have the same luxury. Javier Torres, a construction employee who has worked in Miami-Dade for 26 years, attended yesterday's hearing to tell his story.
I fell from the second floor, from a ladder, and they took me to Jackson Hospital. The paramedics put me in a neck brace. I couldn't talk from the hit I took, but then, in an hour, I started to talk again. They put me in a scanner, and when they took me out, they said, "You're a miracle from God. From the height you fell, you have no broken bones. You're simply hurt."
Heat-related injuries and deaths go underreported, and farm and construction workers are feeling underrepresented.
Look at all these workers. Agua, sombra y descanso.
A total of 57 people signed up to speak on the decision, most of which were members of the organization We Count, standing up with the Que Calor campaign supporting the bill. The proposed Miami-Dade heat standard would require construction and agriculture companies to provide drinking water, shade, and 10-minute breaks every 2 hours to their outdoor workers.
And it's proven that if you give somebody a 10-minute break, they're more productive after the break than rather than having to work through the break. So the argument that it costs money doesn't hold water. It's not factual.
The ordinance would require a heat exposure safety program, a multilingual notice of employee rights, and reports and penalties for violations of the chapter.
The last thing they need is another agency from Miami-Dade County overseeing their work and their safety track records and policies, which are already overseen by OSHA.
OSHA, or the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, was frequently brought up during yesterday's hearing, with some saying it's enough to ensure the safety of workers and others calling out its lack of enforcement.
Ask anybody in the audience if they ever met an OSHA inspector. I can tell you probably zero. I've been doing it 44 years. I met 3, and every one was because of a fatality.
After hearing every testimony, the Commission passed the final vote until October, allowing for improvements of the bill along the way. Reporting from downtown for Caplin News, I'm Samantha Gutierrez.
Monday marked 22 years since our nation came under attack. Caplin Sinisa Sr. was in Miramar where a remembrance ceremony was held.
2 I-beams from the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center has made their way to the city of Miramar. Today, the city memorializes the enduring legacy of 9/11 and those who lost their lives on that day.
3, 2, 1, unveil.
City leaders unveiled the 2 steel columns at their final resting location during a remembrance ceremony held at Miramar's Regional Park. Towering symbols of strength and unity on full display, honoring the nearly 3,000 innocent lives that perished 22 years ago. 343 men and women of the New York Fire Department died in the line of duty. Their heroism never to be forgotten.
We will remember every rescuer who died, our 72 law enforcement personnel, our 343 firefighters, and we will remember every family that lives in grief.
The beams were given to the city of Miramar by the New York Port Authority, a plan Mayor Wayne Messam tells me was initiated by the fire department and has been in the works for nearly a decade.
Our fire department went through the initial process for the city of Miramar to actually get parts of the World Trade Center, and to build it here at Regional Park is breathtaking.
The unveiling brought out many residents, city leaders, and local first responders, and while all were in good spirits, the memories of 9/11 remains etched in the minds of those old enough to recall the event.
I just saw this one gentleman, and he was full of the soot from the towers falling, eyes bloodshot red, and he just continued to walk straight, no emotion, no nothing on his face.
You know, see that building coming down, I was very, very, very emotional.
This dedication site will remain a home for the relic secured. For Caplin News, I'm Tanissa Senior.
This Monday's Powerball drawing was the third largest jackpot of the year. Its payout might have been $522 million, but nobody won. The jackpot for Wednesday now is estimated to be $550 million. The drawing Saturday did earn a winner from Florida who had a ticket worth $2 million. There were two $1 million winners in Virginia and New Hampshire.
A critical shortage in blood is causing concerns here in South Florida and across the country. Caplin News reporter Fabiola Ojeda takes a look at the problem.
The American Red Cross is facing low levels of blood due to many circumstances they have been going through.
The American Red Cross provides about 40% of the nation's blood to patients that are in need of it.
40% of this country's population is eligible to donate, and only about 4% do.
Due to high travel season, natural disasters, and back to school, the levels of blood decreased 25% since early August. Many blood drives had to be canceled because of weather, and less people are donating.
Blood cannot be manufactured, it can't be stockpiled, and really it's the blood on the shelves on a daily basis that is needed to save lives.
With hurricane season not over yet, cancer patients, emergencies, and labors, the American Red Cross is concerned and hoping to get more donations. I'm Fabiola Ojeda for Caplin News.
The Marlins continue their tough road schedule as they fight for a spot in the playoffs.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
We have blessed over 500,000 children.
Christmas is still months away, but if the children you're trying to help are thousands of miles from South Florida, you have to start planning early. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depressing stuff. That's what white people think. You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive, CWX. You're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
Let's go.
you'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Make a plan today.
Delivering joy straight from South Florida to children in need. A South Florida initiative is spreading joy this morning by sending Christmas gifts to kids across South America.
Caplin News reporter Abdul Jabbar has more on this story.
In a world where the constant need to support those who need it, Box of Joy is making a significant difference in the life of vulnerable children. These boxes filled with toys, clothing, and school supplies are donated to communities, schools, and groups across Latin America and Africa.
Box of Joy is not just about gifts, it's about love, compassion, and the true meaning of Christmas. Each box is a symbol of goodwill and a gesture of unity.
Show children, the poorest of the poor around the world, that they're loved not only by Jesus, but that they deserve the joy, and that they deserve just the beautiful message of Christmas that for children comes sometimes in the way of a small gift.
Through their dedication, Cross Catholic Outreach has changed the life of millions of children.
We have blessed over 500,000 children and brought joy into the lives of the forgotten.
The magic happens when these boxes make their way to the hands of children in Haiti, Guatemala, and other countries.
To see the videos of when the kids actually receive the boxes and to see their joy in their faces when they open them.
These happy boxes show that love and sharing can bring hope all the time, encouraging everyone to keep making a big difference every day. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Abdul Jabbar.
The Miami Marlins had a rough first game in Wisconsin against the Milwaukee Brewers. After taking a series win against the Philadelphia Phillies, the Fish seemed to have the momentum, but they lost it all at the start of the game. The Brewers scored run after run, and the Marlins couldn't do anything about it. The final score was Marlins 0, Brewers 12. The Marlins will face the Brewers again for the second game of the series tonight at 7:40 p.m. You're watching Newsbreak, and we'll be right back.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
Let's go.
you'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Make a plan today.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right, because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
I help our fellows design their paths as creative entrepreneurs. My experiences serving startups, creative businesses, and cultural organizations, and my journey as a queer mixed immigrant with Haitian and Arabic roots, inform the co-creative environment we foster at Radcliffe. We leverage our collective diversity to encourage the building of lifelong personal learning networks and mindsets that stimulate continuous innovation.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Julian Davis.
I'm Leanne Obertor Bush. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.